How you doing? It's Zach. I'm here with my brand new platinum partner, which I am so excited about this because you know what? This gentleman is taken and he has put all of his faith into what we are doing. And that's one of the things that we love to do here at appreciate all of our partners. But when somebody takes and they step up and they go, you know what? I love what you're doing. We want to support you. We want to make a difference. We love everyone, but Larry, I cannot thank you enough for doing just that. I'm here with Larry Goldstein, and he's got some great news for business owners. Just a little bit of a clue on what's going on. Larry, tell us about this this one that you're working on now. How much is this person potentially getting back?
I have a restaurant who has 4 stores, and it's looking like it's going to be close to $2 million.
And how much did it cost them to contact you just to find out?
Nothing, not a penny up front, not a penny to get him qualified. And he has the option that once he's ready to be sent and that it's totally approved, to pay a discounted rate of 10%, or we all wait until he gets his cash and it's only 15%.
So, in other words, he never pays you a dime. The government, you're taking what you get for them.
Yeah.
They don't ever have to pay you a dime. You just take a percentage of what comes back to them.
Right. Yeah, it's money out of what they get. It's not the government. This is actually an IRS program. IRS is actually not a part of the government.
No, they just act like it. They're
That's for sure.
All right, we already talked about no government talk, so we're not gonna go there. But Larry, is you're in Arizona right now, and how are things going there in Arizona? Are you guys coming back? Are you seeing more people out and about, walking around? Are you able to go to places and talk to people again, or is it still pretty locked up there?
Well, this one gentleman is that we're looking to get about $2 million is a local guy, so he's a local business, and I've had the pleasure of eating at his restaurant like 4 or 5 times during this process. So yeah, life's getting back to normal, but businesses have been stung, and for once, the IRS of all places actually has a program where 7 out of 10 approximately businesses with W-2 employees can qualify for money, and potentially a lot of money.
There's a lot of people that were told by people who are quote unquote in the know that they were told that they don't qualify for this, but they should really check with you, right?
I've had those run into people like that were told by their CPA they're not going to qualify. It's worth the conversation. It's worth, again, I can spit out the ways really quick, the manners, how you can qualify. There's multiple ways. One of the ways is if you had the nerve to start a new business during COVID, after February 15th of 20, you can qualify for money just for that. If you had supply chain issues, you can qualify for that. If you were shut down fully or partially due to a government mandated shutdown, you can qualify. And then the big money is if you take your receipts from 2019 quarter by quarter, not the whole year, and compare them to 20 each quarter. If there was a 50% drop in any quarter, you can qualify. You do the same thing, taking 19 first 3 quarters and compare it to the first 3 quarters of 21. If there's a 20% drop, you'll qualify.
So they're actually, and I don't want to say awarding because awarding's not the right word. They're trying to help these businesses survive by even dropping the percentage in 21. So they're,
again, I didn't create the program, but
right.
It's one of the main purposes of this is for business owners. Again, W-2 employees, unfortunately, 1099 do not count. W-2 employees that bit the bullet, paid money out of their pocket, and worked hard to keep their people on staff and keep their people surviving. So it's a righteous program. There are other ways, again, besides that, but that's one of the big keys behind it.
One of the things that I really enjoyed when I created your video, and we're going to be playing your video during this interview. We're going to play your video right after this interview is finished. But one of the things I really love talking about is I love the way that this is going, because you're awarding people who are able to, like you said, bite that bullet, bite that financial stress. They're really awarding people with that because they did the right thing and they kept people hired. I understand not everybody could do that. I mean, I'm not naive. I understand not everybody could do that. But these people who knew that there was a struggle, but they kept going, they're able to be awarded now, and they're able to be treated like they are. And let's be honest, companies that kept people on, they're superheroes. So I mean, they truly are. They're our version of superheroes right now. So approximately how much, and I know that this varies from situation to situation, but approximately how much are people getting per W-2 employee?
Well, by rule, you can get up to 26 grand per W-2 employee, but it's all depends on, again, your payroll information, your 941 information. Again, there's lots of factors that go into the calculations, which I don't do myself.
Right.
That's for the computer nerds to deal with. But as long as your documentation is in, we need your 941s for 19, 20, and 21. We need detailed payroll information, gross, for 19, 20, and 21. And let the team do their work. Again, I've gotten small people with only a handful of employees, 30, 40, 50 grand. I've gotten, medium-sized businesses, like a restaurant with like 30 employees is getting like 380 grand. And now this one big guy who has, 4 restaurants, like 150 employees total. It looks like he's going to get close to $2 million.
That's amazing. I mean, it is kind of, neat after all the years of bashing, that one lovely organization that we were talking about, that now they're finally doing something that is really going to help keep some of our small business brethren alive. Does it matter? And I know that like, are the ultra big guys getting the same thing as the small guys?
Not the ultra businesses, the businesses over 500 employees don't qualify.
So see, that's even better. Okay, yeah, everybody should deserve, but yeah, knowing that businesses like those big ones are not benefiting off this, I think that to me, that makes it even a better thing, that, what, you're really trying to help. What we always do, Larry, one of the things that we've discussed is that we love watching the small guys grow from nothing to something. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do really hard here. So, I mean, I love it. What do people need to do to get a hold of you to start this conversation? And again, there's absolutely no requirement. There's no you don't have to sign your life away or anything. This is all, let's have a conversation. Let's see where we sit. If I can't help you, I can't help you. If I can, get ready to, to support your business even further.
Well, no contract is actually signed until you're qualified. So we'll do all the work. If you don't qualify, you don't qualify. We bite the bullet, and then again, if it costs the company a few bucks, so be it. It's about helping people, because again, the majority of businesses do qualify. It's just a question of how much they'll qualify for. Again, the stats are 70%, but I believe it's a little higher. So they call me, we'll speak on the phone. I can also, through your site, you'll have a site that they can go to, and they can do the application, again, free of charge. You can also put it on test mode, so you can play around with it and see the different scenarios. It'll ask you about the amount of employees you've had in 19, 20, and 21. It'll ask about obviously how business went, if it dropped in, your gross receipts dropped, but it'll take you to where you need to go. Again, if it has to discuss supply chain issues, mandated shutdowns, the site is awesome. So once you do that pre-qualification on the site, even if if you didn't call me before, once I get notification, I follow up with everybody to ensure that everything's done properly. Then they upload their 941s, they upload the payroll information. The communication is incredible. I've gotten people I just got a small guy qualified in 3 days after he got in his information. I mean, that's incredible. We say 1 to 3 weeks, but it's going faster and faster because, again, the main company I'm associated with, we're over $2.5 billion we've gotten for people so far. So
That's billion with a B.
Billion with a B.
That's fantastic.
Yes. So again, it's worth the conversation. And as you know, I mean, both of us, we got together because we're both in business to help folks.
Yeah.
And again, there's no thoughts of any money. So I don't want even people to even worry, oh, what's the catch? There's a catch. There are no catches. Talk to me. Let me see if I can help you. If I can't help you, I bet I can help one of your friends. And then obviously all of us get together with the money we get from the IRS, and we help support you a little more for all your righteous work. This is the winner for everybody.
Yeah, and once again, you know what? Larry throws us a referral award for you using him, and we turn around and we give 80 to 85% back to a cause that you love. So imagine this. You call Larry. You have, we'll say 10 employees. He gets you a couple $1,000. Doesn't cost you a penny. Plus you get to support a cause that you love that has asked us for help. It is, I mean, it's just the whole sound of that to me, Larry, sounds fantastic. You're not only supporting yourself as a business, but we're also going to give to somebody else who needs help. I just think it's a way that, you can really support the people that you love in your community. And it's the reason why this business was created. And it's a reason why people like you and, you and our other partners are going to make this successful, because we're able to help other people while we're helping people. That's, it's a circle of good. I have to bring this up because it's important to me, as just a patriot. You are a veteran.
Yes, sir. I got the pleasure of serving under President Ronald Reagan in the early 80s. Spent my whole tour over in West Germany, which doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Guarding the wall, which obviously very few tried to get over, because there were serious consequences if they did. And it was an honor serving under a great president like that. So, plus I got to see the world. It was kind of, I mean, I saw quite a bit of Europe. So it was, and I think every young man should serve his time in the military. It's
I've told now all three of my sons, with Andrew joining our family, that that's one of the things that I really regret. And it's kind of funny. I didn't want to join at the time because I didn't want to get my hair cut and I didn't want to get yelled at, so I got married instead.
Well,
boy, that worked out really well. Now I'm a middle-aged balding guy who's been married 3 times. So funny story, and you and I never discussed this, so this is something that is really funny. When my dad served in 71, there towards the end of Vietnam, Dad was in West Germany as well. Our apartment overlooked the wall. We could look out there and see into East Germany through our apartment. Somewhere in this vast house of ours, you got a picture of me standing against a plate glass window, and you can see over the wall. So I've always wanted to find an actual piece of the wall and bring it home and keep it. because of the history and me having been able to touch the wall, albeit as a young child. So, what were give me one of the things that that your service really you use every day. It really is something that you use every day. Uh, a lesson learned, something that was told to you.
Pretty simple. If you fall down, get up.
I love that.
It's,
I
it's nobody else's fault. There's nothing else going on. It's you and you, and life is life. We're all going to have our struggles. I've had plenty. I know you've had plenty. It's what you make of it. And
Yep.
Having a drill sergeant scream at me could have been the what saved my life, because now I wasn't afraid, or wasn't I was ready to do what I was supposed to do. And God forbid I never got into those situations. But life is life. Every day is a blessing, and you learn that, especially when you're talking about looking over in East Germany. And where I was was near Fulda, where we went to. It wasn't a wall; it was just barbed wire.
yeah.
But there was actually a town on the other side in East Germany where they didn't have people there all the time because they were worried they'd escape. So they would bus people in and out of the city of a small town. So what it does more than anything for any young person is the blessings of the United States of America are far more than most of us imagine.
Yeah.
Once you've seen, and East Germany isn't the worst. I mean, obviously places in Africa where people don't have shoes, don't have houses. I mean, whatever.
They
And I,
steal your children and make them soldiers.
well, exactly. So
You
I
know,
mean,
they throw hands or they throw guns in the hands of 9-year-olds and who are brainwashed into killing their own family. And yeah, I mean but I completely agree with you. You know what? There's certain things right now that are messed up in this country, but we still live in the best country in the world because we're allowed to say there's problems right here in our country. Other places, you get drafted into the military for opposing a war, not mentioning who, but so we've mentioned it once before, and I also want to thank you. You are a huge sponsor of the finally 5th annual chili cook-off and toy drive. You have a history in which we're adding a Texas Hold'em tournament. You have a history with dealing. Don't I guess that really sounded wrong there, but
no, yeah,
yeah, but yeah, you got a history with dealing. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah, you spent some time in Vegas learning the
after I got out of the service, started college again, and it wasn't for me. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who happened to live in Vegas, and he's just chatting. He goes, "Man, he wanted me up there because he's my buddy, but he had said to me, why don't you just come up here and be a dealer?" And I was like gaming and stuff, and
yeah.
I like, wow, that sounds awesome. I literally dropped my classes that day. I was in the car the next day. Yeah, signed up for dealing school, and I was learning blackjack, roulette, and craps. And once I got to the craps, it was because craps is the most exciting game. Once I got the craps, that was it, and I was became a craps dealer for like 14 years in Vegas. I caught the end of old time Vegas, where they were giving away comps, where you didn't have to have points and all this stuff. Yeah, it was a good experience. It was a good experience, but.
So us putting together our first ever tournament, give us a little bit of advice on what we can do to make it ultra successful.
Just have fun. I mean, the beauty of what takes you a long time to realize, and it took me forever. Anytime you're gambling, expect when you walk in the door, you just expect that you've already lost. Whether it's money, whether it's charity, whether it's whatever it is, okay? You got a pocket full of money, say it's gone before you walk in the door, and now you cannot lose. Stressing gambling takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Gambling money you can't afford to lose takes all the fun out of it. So again, I know your tournament is, not big bucks. People are not going to hurt themselves. But my biggest advice for anyone who likes to go to any of the casinos is kiss your money goodbye before you walk in the door. And you can never lose. But now you're not afraid to play.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get on hot streaks on a craps table, on a blackjack table, and they're finally winning. And now they're afraid to go for it because, all right, I finally won a little bit. You already lost. If you want to
Yeah.
go for it, go for it.
Yeah.
And that's the best gaming lesson I can ever give.
The funny thing is that my like the only gambling story I've really got is I was in Black Hawk, which is here in Colorado. It's our gaming town, and we were in Black Hawk, and I went up there with my girlfriend, and because she really wanted to go, and I didn't even think about it when I went. When I got up there, I woke up the next morning and I was like going, "Oh no, I can't be here." And she was like, "Why?" Because George Brett is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. My favorite player of all time is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And she's going, "Well, they got TVs there." And I'm like, "Okay, great. Fantastic." So I get there and she goes off and starts playing the coin machines and does all that. And I sit down, grab myself an adult beverage, and I'm watching the TV. And the guy goes, "You got to bet." And I'm like, "The hell am I going to bet?" That he says words? What? And you have to play a game if you're going to sit here. So I'm like going, "I don't want to do this. That's not me. I'm not a gambler." So he goes, "Man, here, just take a roll of quarters. Every 2-3 minutes, drop a quarter in, hit the button, just do it that way." And this is back when you actually use quarters, not the cards. And so I was like going, okay. So that's my story on I was forced to bet just to watch George Brett get inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, but that's about my only gambling story. Hey, Larry, let's get back to business real quick. I really want to make a point, really get the point across to people to, hey, small businesses, if you struggled, but you did the right thing, make sure you call this man, because when you call this man, he can turn those struggles into finances that you probably need right now. I just read a story in the newspaper, those things that are made out of paper that have news in them. I know a lot of people haven't even heard of those anymore, but about a 41-year-old restaurant here in Colorado that because of the pandemic, the person sold the building, they lost their lease, and they decided, you know what, we're not going to move again. This pandemic really kicked our butt, and they're closing the doors, and that's just, I hate hearing these stories that, having friends that had to shut down because of this, it's just, it breaks my heart. And knowing that there are people like you out there, Larry, who are going to help them stand back up, I think I love the idea. Are there?
I want to say, yeah, again, you didn't mention this restaurant before. If they were around during COVID, if they sold like end of COVID, 21, whatever it is, they still can qualify for some money. So, in fact, I got a bakery right now in California that sold their business. I think it was second quarter of 21, and they're still qualifying for money. So,
well, I will see if there's any contact information. I'll try to reach out to them and let them know, because that would be, maybe we can get them to change their mind. This is a very popular place. Maybe we can get them to change their mind and change their fortune. But that
would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be a success story that we could all be extremely proud of. Hang our hats on that. Is there a minimum of a number of employees you have to have to qualify?
Not for us. I mean, some of these companies want, because they want to make the big money.
Right.
Give me one W-2 employee. We'll try to get them whatever. If it's a few grand, it's a few grand. Family members don't count. Owners don't count. But besides that, if they have W-2 employees, from one to, hundreds. Let's see what we can do. Like I say, I've gotten a lot of small people money. Again, I can mention a few up the top of my head. A small restaurant with 5 employees is getting like 44,000. So it's not chicken feed even for them. But again, some of the big ones, again, $300,000-400,000, and once this one for $2 million gets done, it's insane.
What the hell can you do with $44,000? Sheesh. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But this guy again, a bit, restaurant's probably the toughest gig out there.
Yep.
The margins are so small. And this guy was struggling, and he was actually referred to me by his CPA, because a lot of CPAs don't do this. Some CPAs don't even know about it. So I get referrals from CPAs. I get referrals from business brokers. I get anyone involved in businesses. We can help a lot of people. And again, we're not selling them anything. I'm not asking them for anything except to work with me until we know they're getting money.
And so, you just said it. There's nothing, there is no loss for them, is there? Absolutely no loss. No matter what, even if they don't qualify, it's just, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. But it was a pleasure working with you. There's no catch to this.
No.
All right.
Yeah,
Larry, give us.
they're not even signing. They're not even actually signing any contract until we got them qualified. I spend all day on the phone talking to people, and it does break my heart when I tell them, yeah, I don't think you're going to qualify. People with 1099 employees still call me saying, hey, maybe I can. If you don't have W-2 employees, you will not qualify. 1099s unfortunately do not count. Because again, a lot of it's based on the payroll tax that they're sending you.
Okay,
So,
but it's not going to stop you from talking to them.
no, everyone deserves a conversation. No,
It's-
I mean, they might have a buddy that needs help that has no clue. So
That's
I mean, friends like to help friends. If I can't help them, unfortunately. In fact, I got another one down in Phoenix where I couldn't help the son, but the mother has a place, and wow, we're helping her, and I mean, she's a tough situation. Her husband just passed away recently, and so she's like, lost because husband took care of all the books and all this. And I'm talking to her new CPA and her new bookkeepers, and she's gonna get, hopefully 30 or 40,000, which to her is $1 million. So again, anyone, big, small, whether I make a lot of money or not, it doesn't matter. I'm helping people that deserve it. I mean, that's all there is to it. For once, the IRS is doing something right.
Yeah, they're not calling you going, hey.
And I just want to mention that because people know about the PPP loan that a lot of people got that was sponsored by the Small Business Association. This is, again, sponsored by the IRS. It's not publicized like PPP. It's not as easy to do as PPP. But again, the IRS is in business to take your money, not to give it. But
and even though it's not as easy as the PPP loans, it doesn't matter to the store owner. They're not the ones doing the work. It's you guys.
As long as they just work with me, let's get the right documentation, the proper documentation, because obviously we're dealing with the IRS, so we're very anal about getting the perfect documentation before approving and going forward. So yeah, it's done right. Again, they're 941s, their payroll information, and then if anything else we need, we'll be on top of it.
Well, you can always take, and one of the best ways that you can get a hold of Larry is on his landing page right here on communitypayitforward.us/ERC Specialists, Larry Goldstein. And Larry, your phone number is 602-989-4200.
Correct.
Okay, so once again, that's 602-989-4200. You can get a hold of him at LarryGetYourCheck.com.
Larry, get your ERC check.
Oh, ERC. I'm sorry about that.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess right there is and the website is getyourerccheck.com. So,
Right.
once again, we are very, very, very excited to introduce you guys to Larry. Please, if you know a small business that struggled through COVID, uh, if you know a medium business that struggled through COVID, make sure that you tell them about Larry. Tell them about Larry. Let's help them get some money, and then we can help other people when we do this. Larry, one more time, can you give me your phone number, please?
602-989-4200.
Well, I want to thank you, sir, for everything that you're doing. It's a pleasure to get to know you. It's a pleasure to work with you. I look forward to doing many, many things together. And you know what? Let's try to get this. I am going to reach out to this restaurant owner. Let's see if we can convince him to open back up. That would be something fantastic.
That would be an incredible
Yeah.
success story. without a
So,
doubt.
but you can work anywhere in the United States, correct?
Anywhere in the United States,
That's
everywhere, everywhere in the United States.
it's great. Larry, thank you for your service. Thank you for your partnership. And most importantly, thank you for your friendship. Welcome to the family. I appreciate that very much.
Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to helping a lot of people and having a lot of fun together.
Now, I do appreciate it. Now, I'd like to bring you to the video that we made for Larry. If you have any information, you can always give us a call, 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. We'll hook you up with this man. What? Why not call a conversation, and that conversation can turn into money? Okay, maybe not the 2 million he was talking about, but you know what? Every penny you earn is a penny you didn't have before, is a penny that's going to help you retain these employees because you did the right thing. You stayed open during a very, very difficult time. Make sure that you call Larry, because you know what? You don't know what your situation can bring you. So again, thank you, Larry. I appreciate it, my friend.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, brother.